up, Witty Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. And today's manga Nerdigan deep dive is going to be on Lucius Zogratis of Black Clover. So before I get into this, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking so I can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, live reactions, or deep dives like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below. So, well, I've been having some opinions on Lucius Zogratis that aren't everyone's cup of tea. But I figured, you know what? I should expand upon this and give you guys a deeper understanding of why I'm not the biggest fan of Lucius Zogratis's motives in particular, and why I feel like him as a villain is like a huge disappointment, at least thus far, and a letdown compared to the setup that we've gotten for him from Tabata. So anyways, and yes, I'm going to be comparing him to various villains in other series because that's what I do. I have to do it. It's my ADHD in effect. But anyways, without further ado, let's get to this. So the setup with Lucius is great. I like that we have the polar opposite to William / Patri. You have two souls in one body. With William and Patri, it's a little bit different because it's a reincarnated soul up in there, and it's an elf. So there's that going on. Then you have with Lucius, he has a commonality with Knot that's very interesting. Because remember, with Knot, he is from a double host family as well as Lucius, and he has a twin as well. And his twin was more, he was a yin-yang motif as well with this twin, where his twin was more on the light side while he was on the dark side. But with Lucius and Julius, they were inner twins, two souls in one body kind of thing, kind of similar to like Gemini up in Black Cat and the Witch Classroom, where but the only difference is with that, where a guy touches Gemini becomes Castor, boy, which is Castor, and if a girl touches them, Pollux or the girl comes out. That manga's fucking amazing, by the way. Anyways, and they come from one of the other double host families in the Clover Kingdom, which I can't wait to get more insight on that, by the way. That will be very interesting. But then we got and this is where it gets very move on-y, at least for me. Well, it's kind of like a reverse kind of thing, because Mubon pushed Tathagata down. Well, Tathagata he's still a host to Tathagata, but Tathagata is just chilling. And we found out this is all according to Tathagata's plan from Satan. I mentioned this in my live reaction for chapter 300, I think it was 332, right? No, it was 333. That this is very, very, very much, and 332, that this is very, very much like with Mubon and Tathagata, and that this was all going according to Tathagata's plan. It really was. But anyways, and then we found out, of course, that he was bound to the Supreme, a devil, Astaroth of Time, their magic to themselves, and attempt to learn the answer. And it's kind of like the opposite. Well, Knot was trying to, find an answer for himself as well. But his brother, though, stopped him from, binding himself to a supreme god, or I said supreme god, supreme devil. So there's that. It's very interesting. So yeah, this arc, based on what we are seeing, is going to be definitely focused on Asta, Knot, and Yami. Because remember, Yami has that devil heart inside of him as well. So and also he already ate Lucifer's heart, and obviously based on what we saw in chapter 335, he ate multiple devil hearts up in there. Ooh, he had to. So then devils are still alive down in the underworld. God damn it, it really just makes me think of Mubon, because he did the same thing with Satan's heart to suppress, well, ultimately to suppress Tathagata. But this conversation though was interesting. I've seen it, Julius, the future, true peace for the world. Lucius, that isn't. Yes, I foresaw that you'd try to stop me as well. It's a shame. No one's ever been closer to me than you, and that you don't understand. What do you plan to do, Lucius? It's all right, Julius. I've seen it all. It's like the complete opposite of Patry and William, where they were in agreement. Now, I like the setup is good. I'm down with this setup. It's very interesting. We'll be able to bring peace to the world. But this is where I'm kind of like having a problem, though. And where this is kind of getting generic. And I'll get to why it's kind of really, really being generic. Where is this? Where he's saying he's savior of the world and Julius is dead. Here we go. He completed his mission in the service of our ideal. For the sake of true peace, a peace without sadness or hatred, war or discrimination. We'll repair all humans. My siblings and I will destroy them, then use our magic to recreate them. We'll make them into fortunate people who are equal in every respect. And to prevent further mistakes, I will rule over everything as the final Wizard King. Okay. In terms of in terms of like the siblings, it'll be interesting to see if this is like a White situation from Tower of God, because we had something similar to something similar going on with White, where all of his siblings are in one body. If that is the case, that'll be very, very interesting. If not, which we did see the siblings up in earlier in the chapter. But this though, this right here, what this motivation is, we've seen this motivation. You've seen it in the God of High School with Move On. We've seen it and technically we've seen it in kind of like in Bungo Stray Dogs, because he's fighting for the sake of true peace, a peace without sadness or hatred or discrimination, because he thinks Fukuchi believes if he destroys all nations, that's going to happen, but in reality it's not. But the other one that has this motivation and wanted to do this and believed that it would happen and really do this is Yalda and / Baal and UQ Holder. But Mubon did this with Generation X and the God of High School with on the Promised Land using it was kind of like test tube babies kind of thing, if that makes sense. But boy, did that backfire on him. Oh my god, it backfired on him. But the thing that really bugged me about this and why this got into a little very generic and shit is because of this. Fukuchi never said anything about ruling over ruling over everyone. Nah, I feel he's in just straight up denial and he's straight up delusional. But there's reasons why he is, obviously, because he was on the battlefield and had to do all these different tortures and shit. He was ordered to do that by the government. So yeah, there's reasons why he's really fucked up in the head. Now with Mubon though, Mubon straight up said to Tathagata, as after he's done doing getting everything done and achieving his dream, then he could take over and he can die. So there's that. But then there's the other thing, and I thought about this. There's Arthur and Four Knights of the Apocalypse, well, Tazai / Four Knights of the Apocalypse, that is kind of doing something similar to this, but it's a little bit different. But what he's trying to do to achieve, true peace in his mind is he believes that if he kills all magical creatures, that ultimately is because, you know, to get revenge for what happened to Camelot, that there will be true peace. That's where I'm having a problem here. Because the thing that Tabata is not addressing is, what about the magical creatures? What about the elves? What about the dwarves? The devils, obviously, that has been addressed. But what about them? Are they going to be killed? What about them? You're not going to have true equality and true peace if you have them, because they might have stronger magic than them. Dwarves are all but extinct, I know, and same with the elves, but we know that there are still elves out there. Obviously, with Charmy, she's still a dwarf. What about that? And also the other one, though, that I realized about that, where you had this kind of thing going on, is with Hoseki no Kuni with the Lunarians. The Lunarians had this going on too. I know they wanted to die, but still. The Lunarians had this going on, and even without material things and everything, there was still discrimination anyway. You're not going to get rid of discrimination. You could try it. Unless you have like a thing like with Gunnex Clover, or to an extent with what we're seeing in Ranger Reject, and you eliminate everyone's to an extent everyone's humanity. So yeah. And then this part here, by obviously it's gonna say this, by rights no living thing should ever be born without magic. You are the world's flaw. Yeah, this is what happened with Move On when he gave out the oh my god, what was it? The borrowed power. When the borrowed power happened, this is what happened. Yep, we saw this with the borrowed power after Ragnarok. Oh yes, we did. Once the borrowed power came to be, anyone who didn't have a borrowed power was considered a flaw. Oh yes, for the sake of a just future, flaws must be eliminated. And then it happened again with the selection with Generation X. Yeah, this is a god complex to the fullest. But then there is what happened in chapter 334 and 335 that I really had a problem with. First of all, there is the design for the king, but I'll get to this in a second. While I was born into a family of devil hosts, I learned magic that can purify devil power and grant sacred power to humans. This is humanity's true form. Humanity's true form is a mixture of Odin meets Oberon. Yep. And I see where Tabata is going with this, because Fae are a mixture of demons and angels. So yeah, that makes sense. And then with Odin is like the god. Part of Odin's characteristics are ironically, war is part of him. Part of it too. But there's death, oh my god, knowledge, healing, there royalty. So this fits. It fits for this. So I understand, and also we've had Norse in the past, and obviously elves are part of Fae mythology and all that. So yeah, I understand the inspiration, but god damn it, I hate this design. I hate the antlers. Are fine. Antlers are not a problem. I don't have a problem with the antlers. Don't have a problem to an extent with the crown either. It's this back piece that's killing me. I hate this back piece. I hate it so much. I hate this outfit. I fucking hate this outfit. I hate the shawl. The shawl is way too small. Like, I need more proportions with it. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Oh, I wish it looked better than this. And what really sealed it for me to that this is Oberon meets Odin is Asta saying it's not human or devil. So yeah, that's what this is. And then also this. My magic is soul magic. It transforms the soul of anyone I touch. The soul is the source of human life, spirit, and magic. Yeah, if that does not scream Oberon meets Odin, I do not know what will. And yes, I know it makes me think of Mahito as well. And let me show you a human who is truly happy. Yeah. Yeah. And then let's get to chapter 335. Let's get to this latest chapter. And this is where it really sealed it for me. Where Julius just became way too generic. Like, it was starting to become a little generic in chapter, I think it was 334, 333/334 with the motivations. But God, it really became extremely generic in 335 for me. But there's that Beelzebub. I have to bring this up about Beelzebub's power. I swear to God, Yami, if you do not take Beelzebub's power, because one, you have a demon heart up in a devil heart up in you, and two, that power fits with your power as well. So that power should be taken by Yami. Let's see. Where is the other line here? So here's what we got here. It took control of the remaining supreme devils in the underworld as well as the ones in the lower levels, which we better be seeing when, because Asta is down over there. He's down in the underworld. We already know that shit. Using the devils, humanity will ascend to new, higher life forms with 9 invisible bodies and boundless wisdom. See what I mean? This is fucking Odin. This is Odin meets Oberon. It is. And she will be the first of her kind, the paladins. They shall be referred to as such, for they fight on behalf of the world. This is like the soldiers for Tathagata that were used to do the selection. Oh, damn straight they are. Oh, damn straight. Oh, God, it is. And then I shall rule over this world. No, just Wizard King doesn't compare to this. Rather, I shall be known as the greatest Wizard King. This is where it got fucking generic. I mean, you had the shit, like, I gotta compare it to fucking, Patry/William. This is I know it's the complete opposite, but goddamn it. I mean, fuck, you could compare it to Bach as well. Look at Bach, the final villain up in Bleach. He was fast as hell. Dude, Bach has the same kind of vision, the trolling vision that this mofo has. He does, all according to plan and all that shit. But and Bach was OP as fuck too. But still, he had his motivation. He had his reasons for his motivation. He just was a much better villain than this. Let's be real. But then let me go back to the Black Clover villains here. Let's talk about Patry/William. Patry had a motivation. His motivation was to avenge the elves that were murdered. And then we found out he was manipulated by a devil. But that motivation and what he was doing, and even though he was being manipulated by one of the devils, I mean, if we find out that this mofo is being manipulated by Astaroth, I'll be happy with that, to be honest, but I doubt that's going to be the case. Because Astaroth was purified, so I don't think that's going to happen. But still, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, you had the devils from the Spade Arc. The devils from the Spade Arc, they had their motivation to get the fuck out of the underworld. They were doing whatever it took to get the fuck out of the underworld, whether it meant possessing people or whatnot. And I think that's a better motivation than this. I mean, yeah, I know Lucius via Julius has witnessed shit. But it's not like Fukuchi, who was on the front lines torturing people. Oh, and he did the worst of the worst to people. He not just tortured men, he tortured women. He tortured children on behalf of the government. That's why he's fucked up and why he wants to take down nations. Mubon was on the front lines. He saw what gods did to people. He saw gods murder he saw Beelzebub kill his wifey. He saw what these fuckers did. And that's why he became like a human supremacist. And also he had an inferiority complex thanks to a certain martial artist. So there's better reasons that lead to these villains' motivations. Kyo is a different story from, I have to bring him up because Kyo is just an amazing villain in Jujutsu no Rokunin. Kyo, like, he's just a fucked up person, okay? He was born fucked up. So he's gonna be, he might as well be a demon at this point. Well, he was a demon when he was born. He was born a demon. He was born a devil. He is a fucked up person. He really is. But this, like, just saying, like, as I said with Mubon flat told Tapagata once he did his thing, he could take over his body and he could die because he know what he's doing is fucked up. Fukuchi is just delusional as fuck, and he, like, after all he does to get his goal done, achieve his goal, we know he wants to rule over humanity. Arthur is doing what he's in Four Nights of the Apocalypse. He's doing what he needs to do because he is trying to. He is hurt because of what the Ten Commandments did to Camelot, and he wants to avenge Camelot and do what. And he believes all magical creatures are to blame for what happened to Camelot, and he feels like he needs to just kill them all. Does he say he wants to like rule over all of Britannia? As far as we know, from what I can remember, I don't think so. But there you go. Like, the one that I could compare this to the most, if I have to compare it to anything, is Ialda. But Ialda has witnessed so much pain and suffering from all of humanity, and that's why Ialda did what she wanted. Why she wanted to put all of humanity to sleep, and wanted equality and all that shit. That's why Ialda did that. Ialda had a legitimate reason for this, for equality and all that, to put humanity to sleep in the name of equality, so they could have like a perfect dream where they weren't suffering and all that shit. Ialda had a legitimate reason for it. She did. She was feeling all the pain and the suffering for like hundreds of years. This I don't understand. This is where it's, to me, again, it's very generic. It's very meh. Like with Gun X Clover, it's the same thing. It's more like so on the lines of like Fukuchi, and yeah, more so like Fukuchi, where you had mercenaries that were on the front lines and did all these fucked up things and thought the best thing to do, they thought what they needed to do was something like this, where they had to make it so make people equal, and by doing that was by erasing everyone's personality, erasing everyone's humanity. Ruling over them, I don't remember, but they thought that was the best thing they thought that was the best thing to do. That's not it. This is very generic compared to some of the complex, and again, this is compared to some of the complex villains that we had up in this manga earlier. Well, yeah, I know the devils and the Spade arc weren't as complex. Yes, I understand that, but their motivations were more legit than this. But I'm talking about Patri, like one of the first major villain of this fucking arc was more complex than this. This is supposed to be the final villain. This is supposed to be like the Bach of this manga. And I'm not getting anything from this. Like, as I said, the setup is good. I'm down with this setup. I'm hoping this is going to get better, and I'm going to be, like, proven wrong with this ain't generic. But right now, in terms of motivation, and in terms of how everything is being set up, or not, well, the setup is great, but right now, Lucius is just very generic for me. I'm really curious what you guys think. I hope I explained it really well, or explained it better, but that's what it feels like to me, especially in comparison to what I've seen in other series. The others, well, I could compare this to another villain, but the other one that's been going up, that's the ultimate troll that's been going according to plan for thousands of years, but they plan on killing practically all of humanity just to bring their son back to life. So that's the first vampire in a Wari no Seraph. Then you got an Exorcist, I'm sorry, Twin Star Exorcist. You got mofos wanting to Sakanashi wanting to kill all the exorcists, for revenge, and he wants to bring all the oh my god, he wants to bring all the Basara out of the Megano, and he wants to rule over all of them. That's like the better comparison to this, actually. If I need to compare it to any other villain, well, not the best comparison, but still, it's a really good comparison. It's to compare it to Sakanashi, who wants to use now a possessed Benio to destroy all of humanity and to take over and rule the Basara. There's that too, but there's a reason for it, because the Basara have been treated like shit. They've been discriminated against by the Exorcist. So there is that as well. But they're taking advantage, and he's taking advantage of it. But I'm very curious what you guys think. I hope I explained this a little bit better on why I think the Wizard King is very generic and a little bit bland for me as a villain. The setup is there. The background is there. I really hope that Tabata can redeem this. I'm really down by especially just mainly the motivation right now. Motivation is killing me. It really goddamn is. Because I've seen this done better. If, as I said, if Julius was on the ground longer, or if Lucius was on the ground, like seeing all this fucked up shit happening to humanity and all of that, and we get this via a backstory, and he's seen all this shit happen. To back this up again, similar to what we've seen like with Fukuchi or Fukuchi or Mubon or Arthur, then I can understand, or Ialda, I can understand this, and I can believe this, and I can accept this. But as of right now, I can't. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys think. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nardigans Inc. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking so I can keep bringing you more Black Clover content, there are ways you can do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nardigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.